Hi, I'm Tiekka. Welcome to Everyday Ballet. Whether you want to be a better ballet dancer or you just want to look like one, I am here to show you everything. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to turn out correctly. Now, turnout is one of the most distinctive and transformational elements of ballet technique. And I know it may look funny, but turnout actually serves a very important purpose. From a movement perspective, turnout allows dancers greater stability, range of motion, and agility. While from a fitness perspective, there's really nothing more powerful for shaping this area between the thigh and the butt that I like to call the thut. So if you're looking for gorgeous ballerina thighs and a nice lifted and shaped derriere, then this is the video for you. I'm going to be teaching you the rules of turnout and how to apply them, and make sure to stay tuned through the very end because we have exercises and stretches to help with your turnout. So with that, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and let's ballet. First and foremost, it's important to know that turnout depends on three factors: strength, flexibility, and structure. Now, strength and flexibility we can always work to improve, but structure is really just the way your body's made, and it's going to affect your ability to turn out as well as the degree of rotation in your turnout. So it's just important to know that you're going to want to work with your turnout and not the turnout you see for somebody else. Which brings us to the first and most important rule of turnout. Do not force your turnout. I know in the movies and on television, we see dancers with their feet opened out in 180-degree turnout. I'm here to tell you firsthand that you do not need to have extreme turnout in order to dance beautifully and to get the full benefits from your ballet technique. So it's just very important, especially as adults, to work within our limits. This will keep your joints safe and happy and help you to get the maximal grace and toning benefits from your ballet technique. Rule number 2, turn out from the hips, not the feet. Turnout happens here in the hip joint and not down in the foot and ankle. And this is really the difference between fake turnout and real turnout. Now, I can always spot fake turnout in the studio because people will be moving their feet and making these adjustments almost like they're stepping around as they try to increase the rotation of the legs. But this will never ever work. It's much better to have less rotation in the legs and be using your real turnout. So in order to find your real turnout, it is very helpful to start with the baseline of your natural turnout. So just holding on to something lightly, bringing the seams of the feet together, hugging in at the core and taking your hand to your waist. From here, you bend the knees. Now we're going to rock back very slightly on the heels, and as we do that, use the backs of the legs to open the toes and let them land. This is your natural turnout, and this is really the best baseline from which to build your strength and correct alignment in order to develop your real turnout. Rule number 3, maintain proper alignment in turnout. Proper alignment is really the heart and soul of being able to turn out correctly. So we're going to take it from the ground up. So using your natural turnout, you should feel both feet flat on the floor. Now, traveling to the fronts of the ankles, you want to lightly draw up. So often when people turn out, their ankles collapse forward and their knee starts rolling forward, and we don't want this. So just draw up lightly through the front of the ankle, and then you'll feel yourself drawing up lightly through the knees. Now we get to the most important part of our turnout, which is the hips and pelvis. First and foremost, make sure you are not arching and you're not tucking. Instead, feel nice and long through the lower spine. I tell my students to feel like they should have a tail draping down to the floor. From there, travel to the front of the pelvis and the lower core, and feel like you are zipping a pair of jeans right here. When you do that, you'll be hugging in lightly and lifting up through the spine. This is the proper alignment for your turnout. So proper alignment is what's going to keep your joints safe and healthy as you engage your correct turnout. Now that you know the rules of turnout, we're going to put it all together and do some exercises. So the important thing about these exercises is just to make sure that your pelvis isn't bucking around and your feet aren't trying to adjust or wiggle. So first we're going to start by taking our natural turnout. Just take the seams of the feet together, hold on lightly to your bar, take your hand to the waist and zip the jeans up through your core. Now bending the knees, you're going to rock back, and using the backs of the legs, you're going to open the toes and let them land. From here, we're going to draw up at the front of the ankles, feel both feet on the floor, and zip the jeans, feeling long through the lower spine. Now from here, without changing anything in the pelvis or that standing leg, you're going to just point the toes lightly on the ankle bone. Okay, and the knees are wide here, so you want to feel wide across the knees. So now we're going to do what I call a standing knee opener. This is our starting position, and we're going to hug in, and keeping the pelvis still, we're just going to take the knees smoothly in and open out. Notice how still the pelvis is, drawing in and opening out. Make sure you're not clutching your bar, bringing it in and opening out, hugging in at the core and bringing it in and opening out. Let's do 4 more just like that, keeping the pelvis very still and feeling the backs of the legs working to open the knee out and in and out. 2 more, in and out. And you can use that hand there at the hip to make sure the hip is not swinging around. The last one, in and out. Now keep that knee nice and wide, and you're going to draw the toe up on the leg. Now I'm going to draw it all the way up to the knee, but you might not get there. The important thing is that you don't hike that hip up. You want to drop the hips so that the hips are level, and you're really just drawing the toe up right up underneath you. Now from here we're going to do the same thing. We go in and out, keeping the toe right there underneath the knee, in and out. Make sure you're breathing. And in, nice quiet pelvis, and out. Here's 4 and out. Let's do 4 more. In and out. You're going to feel the inner thigh, and the back of that standing leg should be burning here. And out. Make sure you keep a light touch on the bar. In and out. Last one, in and out. And gently place the foot down. Now, you may be shocked because the leg that probably is burning right now is the one that was the standing leg. Remember how I said turnout is really good for stabilizing movement? Well, that's exactly what's happening here. So you should be feeling your standing foot should be on fire, and you will also feel the standing inner thigh. Now, if you're not feeling those things, you're probably holding on too tightly to your bar. If you're using your bar and holding on to it tightly, that is replacing the work that should be happening at the top of the leg. Just be sure to do the other side and to do it equally. So you can just stop and go back and play this again to do it on the other side. Now we have 1 more exercise, and this is with the knee open. We're just going to be coming up and down. So I want you to imagine that you're actually like standing in a hallway sideways, and that your knee and everything is just placed there. So the knee is not going to go in and out at all. Instead, we're going to take that same position. So using your natural turnout, you can take the hand to the waist, the other hand lightly on the bar. Without changing the hips or tipping or twisting, you're going to point the toe to the ankle bone. Now right here, you're just going to draw up, and try to draw up even though you're taking the toe down. The knee stays wide, and you draw up and down. Feeling wide across the knees. That standing foot is going to get involved here. And down, and up, and down. Let's do 4 more. Notice I'm not lifting the outer hip. And down, and up. Make sure you're hugging in at your core. And down. It's not how far you go. It's just the correctness and the alignment of these movements. And 1 more, up and down. and gently replace the foot in first position. So now your inner thighs and the backs of your legs should be quivering. So these are two very good, very basic turnout exercises to practice to increase your turnout strength. Last but not least, we have a stretch to help encourage our hips to open for turnout. Now, I call this the number 4 chair stretch, so you're going to need a chair. Just make sure that the chair you're using allows you to have your feet flat on the floor. So we start by sitting just a little bit forward in our chair with the seams of the feet together, flat on the floor. Now from here, you're just going to open out the knees, which will open out the toes just a little bit. And then from here, you can take the back of your chair with your hand to give yourself a postural assist. Now take one hand at the back of the knee of one leg and lift that leg up. And from here, you're going to take a flexed heel and place it on top of the other knee. Now this may be enough. You may be feeling a stretch already on the outer hip. If you want to go further, you can just place your hand on the seat of your chair to give yourself that posture assist, and then take the other hand on top of the knee. And breathing in, lengthening up through the spine, and as you exhale, just gently pressing down, trying to soften the inner groin and the outer hip. And then once again, breathing in, and exhale, and gentle, gentle pressure. It's not important how far you go. What is important is that you are moving gently and kindly with your body. This will allow your hip to just start opening and releasing, which is exactly what we want. Let's take another breath here, breathing in and exhaling with gentle pressure. Now, if you would like to go further in this stretch, you can lean forward from the hip. So hinging at the hip with a nice straight spine. We breathe in, and as we exhale and press on that knee, we fold forward just a little bit. When you do this, you'll feel the groin start to stretch a little bit more, and the outer hip, the stretch will intensify. So breathing in here, and exhaling and folding. And again, breathing in, softening the face and throat. And exhaling, releasing the outer hip, the inner groin. And very, very gently, just coming back up to a straight spine. And then you're going to come out of the stretch the same way that you came in. So take that flexed heel and the back of that knee and just lift it off and give yourself a little assist back down to your first position. So the important thing to remember when you're doing any kind of turnout or hip stretch is that we don't want the body to seize up. And this means being very slow and gentle in your stretching. It's not important how far you go. What is important is that you're able to work with your body to unlock your body to be able to get more from your hips in terms of flexibility. So please remember always when it comes to turnout, not to force it and to be gentle and kind with your body. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Until next time, happy dancing.